You can take Bodhisattva's vow. And what do you think? By taking Bodhisattva's vow, you have to think that if you choose that you really wanted to be a Bodhisattva, and then you take Bodhisattva's vow, and what you think? Are you really become Bodhisattva?
It's a good start. It's a gate.
Yeah. Just don't be so fast, okay? Yeah. Start is a very good question. Yeah. Start is a very good question. And by taking these vows, still do you need to practice 7 cause and effect? And or equalizing exchanging method?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then now, okay. Then by taking Bodhisattva's vow, what obligations will you be having? Okay. You have to follow all the Bodhisattva's precepts.
Yes.
Yeah. So think a lot. You think a lot, and then when you practice through the 7 cause the effect, okay, and wherever stage you just reached, okay, the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th, and then the 6th, and after that, then you really become a Bodhisattva, isn't it? Yes. Yes?
Many times.
Yes. I'm saying, okay, starting from the first, and you go up. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't go automatically, you see. Today up 1, tomorrow 2, 3. You can't go like this. You have to measure your practice. You see, you measure your practice. Okay. Now I think now I can go to the next step, and the next step. Maybe you have to read some scriptures to tell you what you are experiencing, and then maybe sometimes you have to also ask a spiritual teacher that my state of mind is like this. So is it okay if I go to the next stage? Okay? And when you are reached to the stage 6th, and what experience you will get. Okay? And then when you reach to 7th, and then of course you have to be Bodhisattva. Are we thinking?
What are the options?
Yeah, options on the table.
Can we buy a clue?
Huh? What?
Can we buy a clue?
Buy?
Reality.
Who will sell?
Greedy.
It's a way of talking.
Huh?
A way of talking
Yeah.
in the table.
Yeah. So I'm reading this. Just as the previous Sugatas gave birth to Bodhicitta. Gave birth to Bodhicitta means give birth to bodhicitta means
Practice. They want to.
not want.
Becoming.
They become, the mind become bodhicitta. Okay? Yeah. Give birth to bodhicitta. And just as they successively dwelt in the Bodhisattva's practice. I think I talked about the 6 perfections. Whether they are perfection or not is totally dependent upon the bodhicitta, isn't it? Did I tell this? Yeah. So then this is fine. Yeah.
Can I have a question?
Yes.
Chandrakirti says that the Bodhisattvas are born from the Buddhas. Doesn't it mean this? Isn't it the same meaning here? Just as the previous Tathagatas gave birth to the Bodhicitta, which means the Bodhisattvas are born from Buddhas.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same meaning?
What? Please.
Chandrakirti says
Yeah.
that Bodhisattvas are born from Buddhas.
Yeah. Yes.
Is it the same meaning here, just as the previous Sugatas gave birth to Bodhicitta, which means to Bodhisattvas who gain Bodhicitta?
No.
It's
No.
the way they...
It is different explanation. Yeah, different explanation. In Chandrakirti's text, Nyendu Sangye Dino Tuangji, Sangye Chanchu Saba Letroji. Nyendu Sangye Dino Tuangji, Chanchu Saba Letroji. Yeah, this is like, what was the debate? Egg and hen? Egg and hen? Yeah, egg and hen, you see? Yeah, so if he's a Buddha, I listen teaching from him, and because of this, I started generating my mind into bodhicitta. So I was born from him as a Bodhisattva. Okay, yeah. But then, this is one. I think there are some stories like Buddha was just like an ordinary human being. The Manjushri was already Bodhisattva. We say, Manjushri, the one of the teaching holder of Buddha's, the like profound view, from Buddha to Manjushri and then the Manjushri to Nagarjuna, we talk this way, in this way. That's all the lineage of the profound views. Okay. But then, yeah. Chandrakirti is saying, Nyendu Sangye Dina Tuangye, Sangye Chanchu Saba Letroji. Here he also says that the Buddhas are born from the Bodhisattvas. Yeah. This is one of the texts, okay? And that is, we have to take in a specific way. Not just like all the Buddhas born in Bodhisattva, no. All the Bodhisattvas born from Buddha, no. So we have to take every specific Bodhisattvas. Okay, then only we can answer. Otherwise, it's quite difficult. Yeah. Therefore, the Bodhisattvas called as Buddha's son, isn't it? Buddha's son and daughters. They used, which is quite funny. Buddha's son and daughters. Yeah. So the. The only question you can ask is, who is the previous Sugata? Which is very difficult, you see. Here he says, just as the previous Sugatas gave birth to bodhicitta, okay? And then, just as successively dwelt in the Bodhisattva's practice. Likewise, for the sake of all that lives, I give birth to bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successively follow the practice of practice. Okay. Yeah.
Sugatas from beginningless time.
Yeah, Sugatas from the beginningless time, and no, we don't talk this. Okay. My energy is very low. Almost collapsing. Just we say first Sugata. The first Sugata who has mustache and the first one. Previous, he says previous. Okay. Likewise, for the sake of all that live, I give birth to Bodhisattva. And likewise, shall I too successively follow the practices, these practices. Okay. So when that was my question, okay. When you take Bodhisattva's vow, okay, when you take Bodhisattva's vow, and will you become a Bodhisattva?
Eventually.
Huh?
Eventually.
After vow? No.
No.
Not
Okay.
right.
And then no, please. Be careful, otherwise I will collapse, okay? And then why you follow Bodhisattva's practices? Will this be Bodhisattva's practice? Because you are not Bodhisattva.
You sow the seed.
Huh?
You sow the seed.
And the seed is Bodhisattva.
By taking the vow, you sow the seeds.
Now, what is this seed? Is it Bodhisattva's?
Bodhicitta.
Bodhicitta? Bodhicitta, is it seed?
It's one of the seeds.
Huh?
It's one of the seeds. The bodhicitta is the seed. The vows are the
Bodhicitta?
seeds. The practice is the
Yes.
seed. More.
I'm very happy that you give a lot of answers. Come here and give teaching, please. Very sweet. Say, yes, just say. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
You don't begin with bodhicitta and then you become bodhisattva and then up.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Which one is first, Bodhisattva or Bodhicitta?
I understand the bodhicitta is the man they do the work. And the bodhisattva clean the way.
Bodhicitta is the state of mind.
Bodhicitta Bodhicitta is the mind, okay? And Bodhisattvas are the person who has this mind. That is very clear, no problem. Bodhicitta is the mind, okay? State of mind, which we define, okay? Bodhicitta we defined. You remember? We defined Bodhicitta. Yes? I think so, or yes? Yeah. So the person who has this mind is called Bodhisattvas. And within these Bodhisattvas, there can be many levels, okay? Some Bodhisattvas can be in the path of preparation. Some Bodhisattvas can be part of accumulation. Some Bodhisattvas can be in the path of seeing. Within the path of seeing, okay, few levels. And then path of meditation, many levels, you see, many levels. So the Bodhisattva also grows till that Bodhisattva achieve enlightenment. Once they achieve enlightenment, and then there's no way they can grow further or better than this. So that's a lot of level. All of Bodhisattva.
And where is Buddha in this letter?
Huh?
Where is Buddha in this letter?
Buddha is when he crossed the 10th bhumi, okay? The path is like a path of preparation, path of accumulation, path of seeing, path of meditation and path of no more learning. In the Mahayana tradition, if someone achieves path of no more learning, then achieve Buddhahood. Then they become Buddha. Yeah. They don't have to practice. You see, there's nothing they can practice. Only thing they give teaching for the sake of every sentient being. And the learning or the practice is all accomplished, okay, fully accomplished. Therefore we call it enlightened and Buddha. Okay. Sangye. I think a little bit confused. No? Very clear?
Buddha does not meditate.
Huh?
Buddha does not meditate.
He doesn't do anything else.
I don't know. I don't know. He may be very lazy. Buddha doesn't have no Buddha. I don't know. I think I will ask Buddha. What is your answer?
I think yes.
Eh?
Sometimes.
Sometimes he has to play football.
I think meditation,
Yeah.
meditation, as I see it, is not something you do to achieve something else.
Yeah.
It's not I work to make money or I eat to be healthy. Meditation is for meditation. So why not meditate if you do that?
In my case, I do it to achieve something.
Huh?
I do it to achieve something.
Yeah. And then,
Slowly, slowly.
yeah.
So
It just,
Buddha will not meditate to achieve purpose because Buddha achieved everything.
And Buddha never meditate.
Why not? You say Buddha not practice.
Who said?
You said not.
No. Please.
No more learning
No more
because he
learning.
achieved
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
No practice.
There are practices after Buddhahood.
No, we don't go so far. This is beyond our reach. Okay? You can say Buddha meditate. But when Buddha meditate, when we meditate, we put a lot of effort. Put a lot of effort. We have to try very hard. When Buddha meditate, he doesn't have to put effort. It's just spontaneous. Yeah, spontaneous, okay? Yeah. No effort, yeah.
So what comes first? Bodhicitta or Bodhisattva?
Huh?
What comes first?
Together,
Together?
yeah. Debate? Ask question? I'm expecting a very serious question you say.
But they come like yes or no or gradual.
What one?
Little more bodhicitta, little more bodhisattva. Little more.
There's no little bodhicitta. No, bodhicitta is
Yes or
just
no?
bodhicitta.
So one
If
moment.
there's a little bodhicitta, then we might say this must not be bodhicitta, you see? Yeah.
So I have a question.
So
Yes.
bodhicitta is bodhicitta?
Full. No 50%.
No,
bodhicitta.
no.
So I have
The practice you can say, okay, practice you can say level, yes?
the gate to the path, to
Wow.
the Mahayana path,
Yeah,
having bodhicitta, realization of bodhicitta. And by the end
Yeah.
of the path,
yeah,
only if the bodhisattva has accumulated the 10 bhumis,
Yeah.
he has bodhicitta becomes bodhisattva. So there is a difference between the bodhicitta, which is the criteria for entering the Mahayana path, and the bodhicitta, which bodhisattvas accumulate by the end of the path. Is there a difference?
end of path is a little bit different. So
Okay, yeah.
you can say, okay, the 10th bhumi 10th Bhumi is the highest practice of Bodhisattvas. Okay? And then you can see, from starting from the path of accumulation, in the minor tradition, as soon as you enter into path of accumulation, means your mind is changed into bodhicitta. And that is bodhicitta, plus that is also part of accumulation. Within part of accumulation, all are not necessarily to be bodhicitta, okay? This person can have a wisdom, this person can have some other practices also. So the demarcation, okay, the boundary is as soon as his mind changes into bodhicitta, and then that person becomes mayana, and that person enters into the path of accumulation. Okay? Solam. Yeah. And that we don't have to debate so much, otherwise it will be very complicated. So that we are just leave it there. Okay? Now we are all there, isn't it? Yesterday I think I heard you all were there, isn't it?
Yeah.
No? Yeah, this is peanut.
Is there a way back?
Huh? But don't come back. Remain there. Remain there.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Again, when you say aspiring bodhicitta.
No,
there is a
aspirational
term,
bodhicitta, yeah.
Aspiring bodhicitta.
Yes.
So this is like before you really have bodhicitta. It's just aspiring, but it's still bodhicitta. It's the
Yeah.
will, the wish, the intention.
Yeah.
So, what is this in the scale?
In the scale, in the early stage, earlier stage.
Can we be aspiring bodhicitta, bodhisattva?
Um,
Aspiring bodhicitta.
I can't judge you now, but you can be a bodhisattva having aspirational bodhicitta also.
But still, I don't have many other things that need for the sake of being the bodhisattva, a real bodhisattva. What is the meaning of real bodhisattva comparing to aspiring bodhisattva?
Aspirational bodhicitta is real bodhisattva.
So I can be a real bodhisattva?
If you achieve aspirational bodhisattva.
Just by aspiring?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
No. If you have aspirational bodhicitta, you are bodhisattva.
And what is the meaning of I aspire? I aspire. So what is the meaning of aspiration?
Aspiration is for the sake of all sentient being, aspire to practice all the 6 perfections, to remove all the obstacles, obscurations.
So it's a decision.
No, it's a mind.
It's a vision.
It's already a mind?
Yes.
So it's a mind that decided that that's what
This is wishing, okay. The
Wishing.
mind which is wishing.
is not aspiring mind, the one mind which is wishing.
The nature of the mind is, the nature or the function of the mind is aspiration. But mind itself is mind.
How do you know? If I understand your question, and that's my question too, is how do you know bodhicitta has risen in your mind?
Yeah.
How do we know we have the seed, that the seed has risen in our mind?
Mhm.
The seed of bodhicitta, how do we recognize it's already?
It's a vision.
This is possible, okay. If someone is really bodhisattva, still someone can have a question. So practice, okay, practice either 7 cause effect or equalizing, exchanging. Practice. You practice, okay. Maybe your mind is already changed into bodhicitta, but you may not be 100% sure that your mind is changed into bodhicitta. That is possible, okay. But then there are outer symptoms, like disease, okay, we have symptoms. Signs, outside signs. In the same way, if the mind is changed into bodhicitta, that person has an outer sign, okay, outer sign, and these are quite precise, but still it is very difficult to say 100%. So we have to talk or we have to read scripture based on your experience, okay? Now I think I have this experience, okay? By taking this, you read scripture, explanation of the experience of bodhicitta. Or you can go to a well-experienced teacher. You can debate. Yeah, there are many. I think one of the recent story, not recent, but about 10, 12 years ago, there was one hermit who went to Isolin Dalai Lama. And of course, he has been practicing all his life in Bhutan, and he came, Bhutan didn't allow him to stay, so he came to South India. And then he had audience from Isolin Dalai Lama, and then he was asking, okay, and Isolin was asking question, we have this sign? Yes. And when did it happen? And he says like this, okay. And then do you see in this way? Yes. And then all the questions asked, and then Isolin says, oh, then you achieved the path of preparation. Okay. And then some security guard, they heard. In Tibet we say Jolam. And then you achieved Jolam. And the security guard, they heard. And then they were whispering to someone, oh, this monk had achieved part of preparation. And then slowly, this monk, very profound monk, okay, his name became Jolampa. His name becomes Jolampa, means person who achieved part of preparation. So that is not extremely difficult. And then also they don't pay so much attention to confirm, you see. The practice goes on. You see. Yeah. And they don't have to confirm. Even their mind is changed into bodhicitta. They get an experience, very special experience, but they don't have to announce completely, no. We don't announce, okay? And then also they don't have to confirm. It will confirm by itself, slowly. Yeah. If someone really would like to confirm, either you read the scripture, which there are many sense. We debate all these science, outer science. For example, someone who is really compassionate, okay? Then his mind is changed into compassion. And that person, by hearing or seeing the sufferings of other sentient being, has started having tears, having this goosebumps, you see. And that is sign that his mind is already changed into compassion, or almost changing into compassion. Yes, because it has a different strength. Very difficult to judge, but no worries. Go and practice. Yeah. This is our business, you see. We are, when we become, then I think we have to send some press reporters. This is our business.
Bodhicitta and Bodhisattva, it's state of mind of vision and enlightenment.
Yeah, no. Bodhicitta, okay, bodhicitta is the mind. Okay, bodhicitta is mind. I think we define it. Aiming to achieve enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. And this mind having this thought or plan is called bodhicitta. And the person who has this mind, and this person is called bodhisattvas. Okay? Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva means human being or person.
You need the plant all the time on the plant.
Plan means
תוכנית.
זה מצב תודעה.
כן.
ששואף להגיע להערה ולעזור. אז זה מצב תודעה. למי שיש לו את המצב תודעה הזה, זה בודהיסטווה. זה אדם, זה מצב של תודעה. אתה מבין?
כן.
זה אותו דבר, אבל אחד זה האדם ואחד זה הדבר. מושג ונושא.
Tami explain.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. taking Bodhisattva vow